welcome to episode 18 of the CopTalk podcast. Once again, joined by Mark and Jim Lambert, the authors of the book CopTalk. How you guys doing?
Good. How about
Hi,
you?
I'm Mark.
Yeah, that's a bad representation of Mark, because you see, tonight Mark sounds great, but Jim sounds like he's a little bit far away.
Hey, Jim, are you in the
Hi, I'm
bathroom?
Mark.
You sound like you're in the bathroom, Jim. Are you in the bathroom?
Hi, I'm Mark.
Is that all you're going to say all night, or what? Apparently so. So,
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm in the bathroom.
so coming to
because he can't push the button on his phone that goes droid.
Yeah, coming to us from the bathroom is Jim, and then coming to us from the rest of the places is that's Jim's hideout, really. So
Is this really episode 18?
this is really episode 18.
Wow.
I'm not sure I like this number. It's Kyle Busch's NASCAR number. I'm not happy with this show.
Oh, I
sorry.
agree. We got to put an end to this thing like right now.
Yeah.
The show's over.
Well, never mind. I'm not gonna. I would just alienate our listeners if I said anything wrong about NASCAR, so I don't want to. So
Hey, Jim, what show do we got to get up to for Tony Stewart? Oh, we already passed that one. We got
14, baby. That was an awesome show, if you remember.
I'm glad we're basing our shows on NASCAR people.
We just got to get up to 88 pretty quick.
Oh, well, we got a ways to go. Unless you want to call the next show 88. So tonight...
I'll be happy when we get to 24.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, Jim sounds funny because he's remotely with us again. I don't know if he's out on the back road searching for, what's her name? Brittany, was it?
Yeah,
Can't say it's confidential.
Yeah, if you listen to some of the past shows, Jim was looking for a girl named Brittany out on the side of the road, or found a girl named Brittany on the side of the road. So you could listen to other episodes to find out who Brittany is. And but usually when Jim's on remote, he's out on the move somewhere.
So if
You know how to tell when Mark's lying? His lips are moving. So anything that Mark says, just disregard, because I can neither confirm nor deny anything he says.
Yeah, but Jim, this is radio. Nobody sees my lips.
I can tell they're moving.
Okay, so to get back to something that's a little bit more important to everybody, why don't we talk about tonight's show topics, which are going to be, the first one is going to be about court and what people actually show up in, as in what they're wearing in court, or lack of what they're wearing in court, or potentially the fashion faux pas that they make when they go to court.
Lose the big words, Brent. We'll just say wardrobe malfunctions.
I'm sorry, does that have something to do with NASCAR? Okay, so
What was that word you use?
faux pas? That's really not that big of a word. That's something
you use a lot when you live in a gay community.
I do live in.
Yeah, that's not a word that I put in a police report too many times, there, Brent.
That's just because your sergeant won't know what it means.
I don't think
I
anybody
responded
knows
code
what it
3,
means.
and when I arrived, I made a faux pas.
Yeah.
Faux pas.
Or I drove over one of the two. So Jim, so last week we talked a little bit about court appearance, what people were and were not.
Wait, something more important.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you speak first?
Yeah, you're the one that didn't send out the show notes, so it's a free-for-all now. What I'd like to do is I would like to welcome the Iron Warriors to the show, specifically the Arizona chapter of the Iron Warriors. Welcome to the show. Arizona, hello. That's for those of you that don't know, Iron Warriors is a motorcycle group, and it's comprised of retired and active law enforcement, firefighters, and public safety that love to ride Harleys and American-made V-twin motorcycles. And it's a national organization. They're all over the place. But recently, the Arizona chapter voted to put a little link to our, actually it's a big link if you look at it, to our podcast and our website right on their chapter. And if you look on our website, you'll see a link to their chapter. Check it out. But it's a very cool group, and I wanted to welcome all of them to the show. And thanks, Ed, for helping make it happen.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, but I got a question. Can you ride a gold wing and be in that group?
Is that an
American-made V-twin? No.
Yeah, I don't think that's a V-twin, buddy.
That's a little discriminatory, isn't it?
Hey.
Okay. Well, now that all of our new listeners are now leaving.
Yeah, now that you had just offended. Hey,
Yeah.
Jim, it's a Goldwing. Go ride with the Goldwing group. I think a AARP.
Yeah, I think it's called.
Why is it just got to be Harleys and V twins? I mean, especially the Harleys. I'm sure the V twin guys in that group that are on Hondas and Suzuki's and Yamahas probably are the leaders of the pack, because the guys in Harleys are always looking back, straining their necks, trying to see what vibrated off the bike. So they're probably really not even active riders in that group. So
hey,
I'm thinking they should allow.
To the new listeners from the Iron Warriors to the group, that's just my bitter brother, because every time he comes over to my house, he walks through my garage and he sees my gorgeous Screaming Eagle Harley parked there, and he's just jealous. He goes home and he sees his paint-faded Honda sitting outside, so he's just jealous.
Yamaha.
So don't listen.
Yamaha.
A Yamaha. Excuse me. So
technically, that's even worse.
Don't pay attention to what he says.
Yeah, but that's a funny thing, Mark. How long have you owned that Harley?
We'll put a picture.
How long have you owned that Harley? How long have you owned that Harley, Mark?
We'll put a picture of Jim's Yamaha on the website, and you'll see why he's so bitter.
Brett,
anyway, let's get on with
5 years, and you know what? That's the only time I've ever seen it is in his garage. I've never seen him ride it. I've never heard him start it. It's always sitting in the garage with a bunch of cat litter absorbent underneath it to catch all the oil. That's all I'm saying.
That's my
He doesn't
bitter
even have
brother.
a cat, dude. I mean, there's something up there. He doesn't even have a cat. But all right, next topic, Court.
Yeah.
Iron Warriors, thank you very much for your support. We appreciate it.
You enjoy your Yamaha, Jim.
All right, next topic.
So Mark, since you apparently already took the entire floor, why don't you go ahead and do the other stories that you want to?
And after Jim ruined our new listeners and made them
I'm thinking if they're ex-police, fire, and that, they're pretty used to people like Jim, so I don't think it would be a problem.
That is true.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
we deal with those types of people every day. So what's the big deal?
There are just a couple articles. In fact, I lost some of the articles, but there was a recent one here.
Probably put together some show notes.
Athlete arrested in robberies. There was a nearby town that, over the course of a month, teenage kids walking around the town were getting robbed by a group of guys. They'd pull up in a car. They'd pull up just ahead of them. One of them would get out and start walking. And when the kid caught up to him, they'd punch him in the face. It'd be a strong arm robbery. They take the iPods and phones and different things. And they finally got a tip to go contact an athlete, a well-known athlete from one of the high schools, at his house. And they discovered all the stolen property in his room. And one of the key things is when they interviewed him, they told them that the victims were targeted because they were walking alone and distracted, either by listening to music or talking on their cell phones. And we cover that all the time. I mean, if you can't drive around now without seeing people walking across a busy street, stepping off a curb, or just, walking through a shopping center, looking down at their phone, texting or not paying attention. And that's what makes people victims. If you're unaware of what's around you, if you're unaware of your surroundings, you're going to become a victim. And that's exactly what happened here. The other articles I have, it's just, there's, I'm sure most cities have a weekly log. It's just full of thefts from garages, stolen bicycles, burglary, residential burglaries. Just, it's full of thefts, and the times are getting hard, and the thieves are going after more and more. So you really got to take precautions. Third article: music may improve men's luck in dating. Oh, wait a minute, that wasn't for the show. I was going to give that to Jim later on. 22.
Can you email
22
me?
on that one. I'll email it to you. It was in the paper the other day, but I'll email it to you, Jim. Sorry, that wasn't supposed to go in the show.
Good looking out.
Last thing was something that happened yesterday in our city. We got a call of luckily an alert person saw somebody break into a car, smash the window, stole the purse, took off on foot, jumped a fence. Very descriptive. The caller called in and just described this guy to a T. Braids, red and white hat, blue jeans with red pockets, and a black shirt, red and white shoes.
On a Harley.
Yeah. So we found the guy dressed, exactly to a T, did the lineup and everything, arrested him. But the thing is, it tied up 2 officers for hours with the booking, writing the case and everything over something that could have been avoided. This lady left a purse on the front seat of her car. And if that purse wasn't there, this never would have happened. I mean, it would have happened somewhere else in another location, but it wouldn't have happened. She wouldn't have had a broken window. She wouldn't have had her property taken. We wouldn't have had to tie up 2 officers. So, and that's something that we press on over and over and over again. In a car, don't leave anything in plain view, even if it's not a value. If a book bag or something to a thief, he's going to think it's a laptop. He's going to break in and try to get it. So go back and look through the tips on our, we're going to sound like a broken record with all the times that we say it, but go back and look at our tips and find out what makes people victims. And it's just something that happens on a daily occurrence. There, I'm done with the news, Brent. Wake up.
Look, those people just aren't listening to the show. That's the problem. So we need to get the word out to them to actually listen.
That is true. Or buy our book and read it. Is Jim in the bathroom again?
I think Jim's on delay. I think that's the problem. He's a little bit behind all of us, and then he just blurts out comments every once in a while.
The last thing I heard is that dude fled on a Harley, and I was waiting to hear that they took him into custody because the Harley broke down 2 blocks away from the crime scene.
If you listen to our show, you'll know that Jim latches onto something every show. It's like a keyword he latches onto, and the whole show he tries to make jokes about that. But
Mark, you hardly know what you're talking about.
Sort of like that. But again, Iron Warriors, please don't take it personal. He's capping on his brother because he's so jealous because he's got a piece of crap Yamaha sitting outside his house that doesn't start half the time. So he's just bitter and jealous. So don't take it personal. Anyway, on with the show, because people want to tune into the show to learn about tips, how to keep themselves safe, not listen to 2 brothers cap at each other the whole time.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think we've had actually people
hardly worth listening to.
Yeah, I think that people actually
already used that one, Jim.
Saying just that.
No.
You already used that one, Jim.
So
it's a good thing there's no Harley jet skis out on the water. You'd be really picking on them, huh?
Yeah, just think how much that could break down. So the one other news story was sort of related to the stuff that you were talking about, Mark, which is the kid that walked off the cliff out here. Basically just wandered off and said that he was, he didn't say anything because he died. But they walked off the cliff supposedly on his cell phone or texting somebody, and he must have been really into it because apparently from what I was told, the cliff was like 200-300 feet from where the trail was. So he must have been walking for a while. So I don't know how. Obviously, you can get really distracted on a cell phone or device like that, but man,
You know what's scary? I was thinking about this the other day. It's scary. I mean, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, everyone just kind of went around their own thing, and they actually wore a little beeper on their belt. And if it beeped, then you looked down at the number, and you either went to a payphone or called somebody back from your office. But everyone has a cell phone, and I mean everyone. I'm talking 6-year-olds in friggin' elementary school. But I went into Rayleigh's the other day, and 3 of the clerks are on break out front, and they're all looking down at a cell phone, texting away to whoever. There were even officers in traffic court last week texting in the back, in the back of the courtroom. And I mean, everybody and their mother has a cell phone, and I mean, I use one religiously, but there's a time when not to use it, and I think you're going to see a lot more of a trend taking place with people getting taken advantage of or victimized for not paying attention.
Well, yeah, and
that is true.
And if you look, stories hit on that, right?
Yeah, you look at like I said, people are walking down the street. I mean, you got these women walking through shopping centers in the evening, looking down, texting. They're not looking up. They're not looking around. Anybody could come up behind them, grab a purse, grab their phone. It's annoying to me as you go into a store and you're waiting in line, and the clerk, or at a restaurant, and either the waiter or the clerk, they're just sitting there texting and smiling and checking their email, and it's like, please, it really gets annoying.
Oh, I've had that discussion with somebody at some store that was doing that, and I said, well, hey, thanks for helping me. It's obviously whoever you're texting, let me know. It's more important than me, your customer.
Yeah, and you see these people that are supposed to be getting, paid to do their work, and they're just sitting there and doing nothing, just texting.
I won't even get into the fact that one of my own employees does that. And when I printed out the instant messenger history, it was 675 pages long over 4 months. And yeah, that's a huge problem. Distraction.
See, most of Japanese motorcycle companies have standing orders that in their workplace, employees and mechanics can't use cell phones unless they're on a break. Obviously, the Harley Corporation is a little different, where everyone's texting instead of putting together solid motorcycles. But anyway,
yeah. Well, Jim, the reason they don't want the Yamahas and whatnot in the group is because it's a very manly group with manly bikes, and they don't want these little sissy bikes in there. So
whatever.
Hey, I got to say, I got a Yamaha. It's a dirt bike, and it belongs in the dirt. Okay, and so that's where the Yamahas belong, is on the dirt. Harleys belong on the street. Wow, that one got Jim low.
I won't even start talking about police motorcycles, but that's a whole different thing. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Brent rides a Honda. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Not anymore, but.
Yeah. When Jim's bike is running, you can't hear it. It doesn't sound like it's running.
That's right. It's because Jim's bike usually isn't running.
That was a good one.
And I like that.
Yeah, would you?
Because I'm texting.
Would you please text me a response?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Okay. Yeah, don't because.
WTF? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Hey, in fact, the Iron Warriors, if you're listening, send in Yamaha jokes to Jim. He's got his email on our website, so you could send your Yamaha jokes to him.
TTFN. That's tops off for now, Mark. I keep forgetting Mark doesn't text.
No, I don't text. I try to stay away from all that.
And that's probably a good thing.
I've got a phone that makes calls and receives calls, kind of what they were designed to do.
It would take Mark a half an hour to do one anyway, because, when you have to go A, B, B, C every time.
If I want to talk to somebody, I just call them. Not that I want to talk to Jim, but if I wanted to talk to Jim, I would just call him.
Yeah, and that's why every time you call me, I look at the phone and go, God, why is he calling me?
That's true. You do the same thing if I text you.
No, you haven't texted me, because it would take you a half hour to do a text message.
He doesn't know how to text.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to push a couple of letters and push send, Jim.
Okay, so since both of you don't have anything important to talk about, how about Jim lets us in on his little story about what he saw the other day in court?
Well, I'm sure this goes way outside the courtroom, like with job interviews and meeting with your probation officer and other life's little wonders. But in traffic court the other day, it was a full house. And I was just amazed at how many people were there with shorts on. And I'm talking like baggy, sagging basketball shorts and just looking like total slobs. And I think there's a lot to be said for the term dress to impress. And I think the judge actually, people are under the misconception that the judge always sides with the officers. And especially in our court, that's not the case. And he plays a video before the court appearances, explaining what the what's going to transpire in court and what the responsibilities are of the officer and the defendant. And he's very upfront saying, that's a misconception. If you present a good case and there's reasonable doubt, then you're going to get the case judged in your favor. But when you go up there looking like a friggin' clown and bad-mouthing the officer, just making a bunch of accusations, you're not going to get a whole love. And that may not be important on a $50 or $100 fishing without a license ticket, but when you start talking about some of these serious moving violations or a $500 boat ticket that you got out on the river, you better be presenting a good case, and part of that would be dressing respectfully when you go into the courthouse.
I mean, like Jim says, it's a matter of respect. If you go in with your pants hanging down off your ass and your hat on backwards and you're in a tank top or something, the judge notices that. And no one says you have to wear a suit and tie, but if you wear a nice dress shirt, a pair of slacks, just do it for your court. You're going to court. You're not going to a ball game or something. You're going to court. And it's just a matter of respect. I know if you watch a lot of the judge shows, they do that. And as most people probably know by listening to this, my favorite's Judge Judy. She calls people morons and idiots, and she just, puts everybody in line where they need to be put in line. But she'll flat out tell people, hey, didn't you realize that you were coming to court, for the guy that's dressed in shorts or a tank top or something like that? But yeah, it's a matter of respect. And the same thing goes for, there's not much you can do with tattoos, but I stop people or arrest people. It's got, like Norteño tattooed across their forehead and stuff. I mean, don't people think about this before they do it? Do they get it done in a drunken stupor? Were they young and dumb? And
no, it's cool, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what you talk about. I just worked our little wonderful event. It was all cool, especially with the 12-year-old that had the tat of Norteño across his wrist.
Yeah.
Hello, and stole his booze from his mom.
Yeah, I had another guy that had, I know I can't say this one on the air, but he had F, the F word, and on the fingers of his knuckles, U on the other hand. So, I mean, I can just imagine the guy going for a job interview and, the prospective employer looks down at his hands and it says F-U. I don't think that guy's going to be getting the job.
Yeah, I know many companies that won't hire people with any visible tattoos at all.
Yeah, now you're
well,
being you're
a couple of years back when I was in the jail, there was a dude that was actually, he had the Golden Gate Bridge tattooed on his forehead. And I'm sure that was a conversation piece at parties, but, I like it when the victim says, yeah, the dude that robbed the store had a bridge tattooed on his forehead, and it was really never too hard to track this guy down so you get him identified.
Are you sure it was him? Yep, I am positive.
It'd be
was it the Bay Bridge or the Golden Gate Bridge?
We're having a rash of problems in the neighborhood.
That'd be hard finding 5 other similars for a photo lineup with that.
Yeah, no kidding. We don't think he stands out.
Get back to court, in case I got a jam here in a minute. If you're going to court, let's say the average person runs a stop line or stops after the limit line at a 4-way controlled stop sign controlled intersection. Go out, take photos. If you've got a good case saying, hey, Your Honor, I don't think maybe the officer had a good view of me. I did stop. I know that. I stopped religiously. I live in the neighborhood. I'm concerned about people doing this very thing. I see lots of cars below the intersection. You can see based on my driver's license history that I don't have any previous. I mean, if you present a well put together case and you go out and take the time to maybe get photographs of it, present yourself in a calm, rational manner, and dress to impress, there's a high probability that you're not going to be getting found guilty on that. And what the judge will normally do, so that he's not fronting off the officer or just flat out ruling in somebody else's favor, he'll say that he's going to take the case under submission and notify you by mail. And that's usually a polite way of saying, hey, officer, you didn't have all your facts together and you need to tighten things up. And, it's usually going to be a not guilty verdict.
And other times, like for stop signs, if there's trees growing out over the stop sign, take a picture of it right away. Don't wait a week or two, because if the city crews go out there and trim the tree, you're out of luck. But if the stop sign is obscured by some branches or trees, go grab a camera and take pictures of it right away. If it's a speeding ticket, you could check with the city and see when if they have a current survey. If you're in court, check and see there's a current survey on file. If not, it's going to get dismissed. So there's a lot of things you could do to get out of tickets. But if everything's in order, if the cop presents his case and he's got the evidence, more than likely you're going to be found guilty. But like Jim said, if present your case to the judge, be very polite, and you can see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know.
If people go into court and they just say, well, I don't think I was speeding. When I looked, I was going, 65. Well, that's after you see the cop in your mirror and you put your foot on the brake and then you look down. But people go to court and just say, well, no, I stopped. I mean, they have absolutely no proof, no evidence, no nothing. And it usually doesn't go in their favor.
Yeah, or they're just all mad about the situation, and instead of taking that anger and putting it into something that actually is going to help them in court, they just continue to think that it's all the cop's fault, and
hey,
how dare you pull me over and blah 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 blah.
Here you go, Jim. Let's pretend I'm not your brother and I drove out your way and you're in a patrol car.
I pretend that every day, but go ahead. I'm sorry. Whatever.
And you hate Harley so much that I was out there on my Harley with my Reinhardt pipes putting a nice rumble out. And you saw this Harley and you instantly got hatred in your mind because you've got your little non-running Yamaha sissy bike at home. Would you give me a ticket for loud pipes?
You know?
I didn't pound that crap and take it to the... Oh, never mind.
I'd give you a ticket for littering and creating a hazardous oil spill.
Yeah,
That's a hazmat. That's a response.
Maybe way in the old days, Jim, but if you actually checked Harleys out, I think you'd find that they don't rattle apart and leak as much as the older ones did. Not as much as your Yamaha.
Honda.
But I Honda, Yamaha. I gotta say, Jim's bikes though, his Yamaha and the Honda that doesn't run, the parts on that bike will last forever. I mean, I gotta admit, they'll last forever.
Thank you.
I mean, I wasn't done, Jim. It's because they won't start, they won't get any wear, and the parts will last forever.
Mm-hmm.
How about the part that's riding it? That ain't gonna last forever.
Yeah, the loose nut.
Yeah.
Hey, because we're on traffic related, I did get asked a question, and it was a very good question. Somebody asked me if they were in a parking lot and they went through a stop sign, could they get a ticket?
Uh-huh.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the answer because are we talking private property?
Yeah, like a shopping center.
Okay. Not enforced by local law enforcement, which most people don't understand this at all. So
Brent,
maybe you want to talk
don't make it bigger
about
than it is, all right? Don't make this thing you're a foofa. What you're going to use that foofa word again or whatever it is.
I'm sorry if I speak.
Here we go. All right, well, we'll make it simple.
Mark, will you shut up for a second? If I speak in big words that you don't understand, I can explain them to you after the show. But our listener base is not that simple.
We'll do that, Brent. I think if we took a poll, most people wouldn't know what that word was that you used. Anyway,
start using.
All right, here we'll make it simple. We'll make it simple for Brent. Jim,
okay, thanks.
You're in a parking lot going to your Caffino to go get another Caffino, and you're on private property, parking lot. You see a car go through a stop sign. Can you write him a ticket?
Frickin' fell.
I wouldn't write him a ticket because it's on private property, but it's great PC for stopping the car to find out that he's got a suspended license or whatever.
There you go. Now, there are some things the police can enforce even on private property. They could reckless driving, drunk driving, hit and run. But stop signs and stuff, if you run a stop sign in a parking lot, you can't get a ticket for it. Now, this is at least California. I don't know what other states do or don't. But in California, private property, if it's not regularly patrolled or the police department hasn't been given permission to enforce the rules on there, the cop can't write a ticket, but he still can stop you. Like Jim said, there's great PC for a stop. I mean, you could be considered reckless driving there.
Okay, I'm sorry, but who do you think actually knows what's considered private property? Why don't you explain to the difference between private property being on the normal streets, law enforcement in general, and what they protect.
Well, living in a gated community, Brent, you could explain that one too.
Well, this is considered private property, and I never see a cop in here ever.
That's because they can't write tickets in there.
No, they can't even come in here unless they have a hot call, as per the policy of this place.
Wow.
No traffic enforcement by local law enforcement.
That's pretty cop-friendly.
Yeah, you think? So unless you have,
sounds right.
Yeah, well, that's the only reason our gate's here too, is for freaking enforcing what? Oh yeah, restraining orders. Yeah, that's why our gate's here.
Yeah, so the cop that pulls up their code 3 with his lights and siren has to fill out the guest pass before he can get in?
No, he has to call ahead of time and have somebody call in for him as a guest.
Excuse me, sir. Who are you visiting? Could you please turn your siren off? You're annoying our guests, sir.
Yes, I'm not kidding. That
but there's
somebody
bleeding. There's someone bleeding to death in there, sir. You're gonna have to wait till 7 o'clock in the morning.
As I explained to the guy very simply, I said, if we come in here code 3 and you don't have the gate open, it will be opened by the time we get through. So it's cool. I said, it just doesn't matter. We'll go through the exit. It doesn't even matter. So
with the tire spikes.
No, they don't have tire spikes because somebody from the group here drove through the wrong side once, confused as to what lane to be in, and blew their tires up, and they were on the board, and it got ugly from there. So
I'm sorry, sir. You can't come in under direct order. I want your name, dude. My name is Mark Lambert. I've been with the security firm for 6.5 years.
You could have fun, Jim.
I've had this. Hey, I had one of our guards chase me down code 3 with amber lights for almost over a mile through my property. I wanted to see how long he would chase me, and then I stopped and got out and walked in my house. And he said,
"Well, you got it." You have to stop for amber lights?
Yeah, no, that's what he told me. He said I have to stop for amber lights, and I said, yeah. You see, I know more about this than you. You probably don't want to play this game.
So do they call the security SWAT team?
No, but I did have two guys. I did have two security guys here. What appeared to be a SWAT or at least a felony car stop. It was like a felony car stop.
Four guys pulled up on Segways, right?
No, I swear to you, I had two guys come in here. They must have been doing 80 through here. That basically pulled up behind a person that had come to see me because he had apparently blown through the gate. And they literally did what looked like a, really bad felony car stop on us. And I looked at both of them. And literally said, "You guys just need to get back in your cars and leave."
They're unarmed, aren't they?
No.
No, I mean, they're unarmed?
They are, yes, they are unarmed.
So what did you do wrong for them to chase you?
It wasn't even me. It was somebody that was coming to see me that apparently either followed too closely so that the gate went, so they had two cars that went through the gate, which is a felony here, by the way. Or it was that he stopped and didn't take his guest pass or something to that effect. And then they chased him down and he's like, "I didn't stop. The guy has amber lights. I didn't know it's construction."
Hey, Jim, I got an idea. Next week, we'll do a remote show. You and me will go out to Brent's and we're going to bust that gate and we'll do a live broadcast.
That'll work.
It actually works out great for you guys because the way they work that is if somebody comes through and busts the gate, whoever they're going to see pays the bill. So
we can do a live show and get a bill sent to Brent.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It leans against the house, but it's kind of cool because I rent, so it's even better. So it just goes to the property owner.
So when I get some attitude with the guards, they're going to go, "Who are you?" I say, "I'm going to see Brent Brzezicki."
Yep.
So you send the bill to him, and you got a problem with me, you got a problem with Brent. So
yep. You talk to Brent because he said you guys are a bunch of slap dicks.
Yeah. It's even better because then one of the guard guys actually accused me of impersonating an officer, and actually sent out my local police department to investigate it because I guess he didn't like the beatdown that we gave him in the street when we said you should probably get back in your toy cars and leave, and he. So the local cops showed up, and two guys showed up at my front door who I didn't know.
They wouldn't let them in unless they were code 3 emergency.
Hey,
No.
what are those golf carts they use? Are those made by Harley?
It was.
Just keeping it real.
No, actually, those are Yamahas, Jim.
It was a legitimate call, though. They said that I was impersonating an officer. They sent two officers down. They looked at me and they said, "Can you step outside?" And I said, "No."
Why, did you brandish the guards?
No. Didn't do anything.
Jim, he's lying.
Why? Because my voice went up?
He looked away and down. That's a classic sign of deception.
My lips are moving. My lips are moving.
Hey, so next time we go through, Jim, we're going to crash the gate.
Yep.
And we're going to tell them that Brent told us we didn't need to stop because they were nothing more than mall cops.
Yep. And I would say that's $500 right there if you break the gate.
Okay, we'll do it in separate cars, Jim. That's $1,000.
It's like a two-step.
That's the topic. Yes, it's funny because when I go through Capino 12 times a day, there's a sign in one of the exits that says right turn only, and of course every other car turns left there. And the girls always say, "Aren't you going to do something about that?" And I'm saying, "Yeah, I'm going to get another 32-ounce non-fat ice latte with 10 extra shots."
And then I'm going to make a left when I leave here.
Yeah, I always make a left there. But yeah, it's
a good example.
Kind of funny. Yeah, private property. It's a great opportunity to kind of maintain order, like in a big giant, like a shopping mall or something. But just because it's private property doesn't mean that they can't take action against you being the property owners. But as far as law enforcement goes,
right, and
it's not like we're not sitting at a stop sign or hidden in a parking space waiting for you to roll a stop sign on private property.
Right, and I will add...
You can't be cited for it, but you can be stopped and warned for it. Like Jim said, it's great PC to stop somebody and, and then find out they're unlicensed or got a warrant or something. So, obey the laws anyway.
The other thing... Oh, sorry, Mark, go ahead.
No, I'm done, Jim. Go ahead.
You sure?
No, I was driving one of the most common things, and I can't believe I actually went to court on it last week, but I think the guy...
What, a Yamaha? You were driving a really common thing, a Yamaha?
No, but cell phones. Driving to work today, I probably passed 10, 12 cars, and I live like several blocks from where my office is. every other car, someone was talking on a cell phone, and I mean those tickets have quadrupled in expense. So I'd like to thank all the people in my area that are contributing to the budget deficit by talking on their cell phones while they're driving. And I stopped the guy night before last for the same thing, and he says, "Well, it was an emergency." And I said, "Dude, unless you got one of those things flashing on the roof of my car on top of your car, it ain't no emergency." So, pull over, take care of your business. Don't do it driving down the road. Otherwise, you got nothing coming, and it's not something you can fight in traffic court. Either you were on it or you weren't. And
but unless you're on private property.
Green light.
That is not true.
You can roll a stop sign and talk on a cell phone on private property.
Or bust the gate going into the gated community, and while you're talking on the cell phone.
Exactly.
That is straight up federal jail time. Not kidding. But so can we clarify this issue surrounding private property? So the issue comes down to is private property.
It's not a city maintained street.
Right, but the let's say the property owner wants enforcement done on it. Can they request that?
Absolutely. We have some gated communities in our city where they've come to the city council and they've said that they want their streets patrolled by police and all the vehicle code violations enforced. And they will post that on the entrance to the development saying, all
that's usually enforced under city ordinance, right, Mark?
No,
then
it's
it
not
becomes
just
a city ordinance.
Well, no, we could still cite them for the California vehicle codes. There are other municipal codes that we could cite them for, but if we're enforcing the vehicle code, we could write them just like we would out on the main boulevards if they run a stop sign.
But usually the sign says subject to enforcement by city ordinance or municipal code or whatever.
Right. The city council passes an ordinance.
Right.
Yeah, the city council passes an ordinance to allow us to go in there and enforce the vehicle code.
Well, that makes it like a special district then. That's what that municipal code does, I think, right?
Why don't you petition your area, Brent, to allow cops to go in?
No, we already went over this at some meeting once, and they actually asked me to come in with laser radar and a speed sign that shows you your speed and all that. And I really brought the stuff in, and I said, none of you guys are going to vote for this, right? And they said, what do you mean? I said, because if I put this stuff out for a week, it'll be only you guys that I catch on this thing, so you're not going to vote for it. So, and they agreed, and we never put one in. And we didn't put in speed bumps either.
Right.
Truly amazing.
And Brent talks on a cell phone while he drives, too, right?
I do, but I use a Bluetooth and interfaces with my truck, my $50,000 Bluetooth earpiece, yeah. So, it works great, let me tell you. I don't see why people have such an issue. It's not. I got to tell you, it's not the headset. It's not the phone. It's not any. It's the talking. You can talk on the phone holding it to your head. You can talk on the phone on a Bluetooth headset. It's the conversation that is the distraction, not the phone. How you hold it for all you Apple iPhone owners. Any of that. I mean, the issue is that if you're talking about something else versus driving. Hello, that's going to be distracting.
Yeah, the heated.
Like if you're a businesswoman going to work and your husband calls while you're stuck in bumper to bumper traffic and says, "I want a divorce, I'm leaving you," then yeah, I wouldn't want to be the one parked, sitting in front of that lady's car. But
yeah, slam. I mean, and that's the fact. Plus, for me, I work in a business where I'm talking on the phone all the time and am expected to. But am I doing my customers justice by not pulling over and taking the time to concentrate on the problem, or just answering stuff and trying to drive and trying not to drive off the road or getting hit by somebody else that's on a cell phone? And I think that the issue is that you have to make that determination. Well, Europeans have made that determination for a long time. You're not allowed to drive with a cell phone. So
hey, I gotta change subject up real quick before I gotta split. But speaking of driving.
That's the second.
What was up with this malfunction freak of nature that I think was stopped in Oakland, and he was on his way to San Francisco to go friggin' kill a bunch of... Did you hear about that on the news?
Oh, yeah. Those highway patrol cars were riddled with bullets. The guy had a rifle, a pistol, and a shotgun, and he had tons of ammunition. And the poor CHP guys, they pull over a car, it's weaving at, 1 in the morning or something. And all of a sudden, the guy opens fire on them, and they're in like a 15-minute firefight for their lives.
That was the 580 shooting or whatever?
Yeah, and they had 10 CHP officers end up showing up. The guy was wearing body armor, and he got shot several times before he finally gave up. But yeah, that guy was a psycho. He was on his way to San Francisco. He was going to wait till Monday morning, and he was going to go to the ACLU and some other group because he was bitter about something, and he was going to just start killing people.
Man.
But yeah, they're psychos. I mean, it could happen anywhere, anytime. There are just total psychos out there.
You never know who the dude is driving down next to you on the freeway. That's for sure.
That is no kidding.
We're walking. I had a 5150 today that was absolutely one of the worst ones I've seen in a long time, and I mean, the guy was really dangerous. He was running up to people, trying to punch them, and chasing cars, and I ended up going out on the guy, and luckily we got enough officers there. But yeah, people are just loony. I mean, they're just absolutely loony, and it could happen anywhere, anytime.
Hey, Jim, where were you today?
Loony.
Yeah.
Loony. That's a real friggin' strong word. Loony.
Well, it sounded better than Farfoo. Farfoo. What was your word, Brent?
Farfignugan?
Mark. People are loony.
Yeah. Well, let's let Brent make up a really good word for that.
I'm Mark. I ride a loony Harley.
Oh, man. And the show goes down the toilet.
Yeah, we probably had at
40
least 2
minutes
listeners of the Iron Warriors left, but I think we even lost Ed on that one. Thanks, Jim.
I don't know. I think Ed will be back.
That's true. In fact, that's it. Everyone's got to stick around for Ed. Ed's going to be another guest speaker, and everyone could tune in and listen to it.
It was fun having him on.
It was.
Yeah, all I'm going to say is to all of our listeners, we refuse to talk about politics anymore because that's a great way to lose listeners.
Yeah, but that's a great way to get Ed fired up.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get Ed fired up without politics, though.
Well, even Ed doesn't ride a Harley.
Yes, he does.
He's part of the group, you
you could say it, Brent. I'll give you permission to say it this time.
God. Do you listen? He's the one who got us. Oh, never. You know what? Never mind. It's not even.
He's probably not on a Harley. He's probably on the
Jim.
the
Let me put it,
or something.
Jim. I got a good way to rest my case.
Who makes V-Star? Is it Kawasaki or Yamaha? The V-Star.
Hey, Jim.
Is that Honda?
Who makes lawnmowers, Jim?
Smith & Wesson.
Yeah. Honda. That's all right. Harley doesn't have to make lawnmowers and jet skis and stuff to stand. Their Harleys.
They do so well in sales of golf carts in gated communities.
I think Yamaha is the one that has the most of the golf carts there. Anyway.
Actually, Yamaha.
Send your emails to Jim. Send them all to Jim.
I do believe that Yamaha is one of the world's largest makers of golf carts, but that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's because they can't make a good motorcycle, but they make a great golf cart.
You know what? I think. Hey, all I can say is I don't think it matters what you ride as long as you ride, so it doesn't really matter. But whatever, you Harley guys. Whatever.
All right. Hey, I don't want to cut it short, but I'm gonna have to split here pretty quick. So, we got anything like super important where you need me?
I'm sorry. Are we cutting into your social time?
Can keep talking about your friggin' tea time and Harleys and stuff.
Jim's got to leave the show early because he's got to push his Yamaha home, and he's got to wait. There still has to be daylight. He doesn't want it to get dark here. So.
No, actually, he has to push his Yamaha.
It is on the side of the road because I rode through a friggin' giant puddle of oil that some Harley left at an intersection. But other than that, it's all right.
But when he pushes it home,
push it through the Caffino place and get your Caffino, and then head on home.
Just make sure you make a left when you're leaving.
All right.
So I
think
we can
probably all wrap it up.
Yeah, we can actually wrap it up. So basically, I just wanted to say thanks to everybody that has submitted questions. I've sent out a bunch of books to those people. We have a couple questions that we didn't answer in today's show that we're going to save for next week's show that I think we can dive into a little bit that we haven't hit on. But
what are they? So I can think about.
The one was, well, I mean, I know you never check your email, but the one that I got in here just recently was, of course, why would I be able to find it now that I actually need to see it? Craziness. 400 emails a day. No, that's Mark complaining about the show this week. So it has to do with warrants and when people can expect to get out of jail.
Oh, the $700 didn't go to court.
We could answer it right now if you guys want to.
Oh, we'll keep everyone in suspense.
Okay, so
No, they can tune in next week for that.
oh, okay, because you have to go to Caffeino, or hey, can we get some advertising money from Caffeino since we say their name so much on here?
Android.
Yes.
Yeah.
Caffeino, drive-through espresso.
I don't think we'll be getting any money from Harley.
Yeah, you never know.
Actually, I've heard any publicity is good publicity, so it could be
They
all
make blenders too, I think. Don't they make blenders? No, I'm
that's
sorry, toaster oven. I have a Harley toaster oven.
Now that would be really cool.
Yeah. Harley
Although
toilet
you
plunger.
can get just about anything with a Harley emblem on it. Cost you a lot more, but you can get anything with a Harley emblem on it.
So, Jim, you can get them for your Yamaha.
That's right. I'm going to get Jim a Harley T-shirt for Christmas.
That'd be awesome. My other bike is a Harley. Yeah. All right. Well, so
They actually had a NASCAR sponsored by Harley. I didn't see any Yamaha sponsors out there, but they did have a Harley Davidson car.
yeah,
sponsored.
and Viagra's also sponsoring a NASCAR. Does that say anything? So
Yeah, that's Brent's favorite driver.
Hey, I nothing to say about that.
That'll get a rise out of you.
I'm going to be up all night. I'm going to be up all night thinking about this show.
This is why Mark is not a stand-up comedian. Okay, so our website, coptalk.info. You can always check out the show on the new Stitcher radio application on just about every phone that's out there. Please don't listen to it while you're walking on any trails. God knows what will happen. You can subscribe through iTunes. Please ask us and continue to ask your cop questions to Ask a Cop section on our site. You can
Or anything that's on your mind. Just write us.
Yeah, really, it's okay. We'll probably send you a book if you just say hi. And thanks for your
And keep the
support.
podcast on your phone when you're driving. You can talk on the cell phone, fake like you were listening to our broadcast, and if you get stopped, you can go, look, officer, I was just trying to make my life safer. Show them that you were listening to friggin' the Cop Talk.
That'd be
podcast.
thinking on your toes. That would be good.
Yeah.
It's like my dad who threw out a cigarette off of a bridge, and the guy said, "Why? When he's going to give you a ticket for that?" Yeah. Well, what better place to throw out a lit cigarette over all this water? So yeah, okay. So, hey, dude didn't get a ticket. Good for him. So, thank you, CHP.
Go get the evidence. Where's the evidence? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
About 2 miles downstream.
Yeah, it's cool. It's just floating back there. Go find it, officer. So, all right. So for this week, we're done. But for next week, maybe we'll talk to Ed and get Ed back in and see what other tragedy has happened down there with open carry. Not that I'm going to talk about it anymore.
He's probably loving it because they sent a bunch of National Guard down to the borders around there. So he's probably loving it.
That's fantastic.
He's probably applying for the National Guard right now.
Yeah, exactly. Wasn't there a group that just went and shot people on the border or something?
I don't know.
There's a whole private organization that was doing that.
We'll get it straight from Ed next week.
I'll
invite him back on the show.
All right. Well, to all our new listeners that are now gone, and to all our old listeners that continue to support us month to month, thanks for that. And
thanks, and welcome again. Welcome again, Iron Warriors in Arizona, and hope you continue listening to the podcast.
And yeah, no kidding. That might be a lot to ask, but
well, after Jim, that's going to be a lot to ask.
Just a little reminder: life is way too short, so be smart and do the right thing. People use common sense. A little shout: there was a Rayleigh's near where I live, and the assistant manager was a total sweetheart. And in fact, I did have a little crush on her for a while. But I went into the store the other night, and everyone had kind of a glum look on their face, and I said, "What's up?" And they told me that Tammy was killed the day before. She actually rode a Harley Davidson, and I'm not making a joke, Mark. She was riding up the river up by Alton or Rio Vista somewhere, and I guess took a corner a little too fast. She no alcohol involved whatsoever. She was just kind of a little wild child. Took a corner too fast, hit a guardrail, and went down, and she died. And in an instant, your life can be taken away from you, whether you do something yourself that's stupid or whether you let yourself get victimized and let someone else do it to you. So please be smart, live life smart and use common sense and be safe.
Yeah. I mean, what can we say?
Yep. Can't add anything more to that.
Life, it's crazy stuff. So, all right, well, till next week then. And Jim, since you got to leave because I don't know where you are, and I don't really want to know. So
I'll text it to you.
Cool. Yeah, that's good. While driving, please.
Remember, Jim, next week, gate crashing at Brent's.
Awesome.
Roger that. I'm down for that.
I think that'd be great. And then we can mic the guards as they take you down on felony
I
car
think Ed
stop.
would even fly down to be part of that. We can get 3 of us. It'd be $1,500.
Technically, that's up, but that's cool. So
Whatever.
yeah. Well.
Anyway,
whatever.
we'll see you all next week. Thanks for listening, and stay safe.
See everybody next.
Cool. Be safe.